Welcome back to WCS Europe Season 2 Premier League Round of 16. We already know the names of 3 of the players who have gone through to the round of 8. The first man this evening is not the man many had that they thought would go through. It is, of course, the Finn Welmer, as you can see on your screen. He has claimed that first place in this Group B matchup. We have 3 players left who've still got a shot. As you can see, Duck Duck waiting for the winner of our next matchup, which, for me, is going to be epic. In any other season, this would be a battle for one of the top places. Last season, they both finished inside top 5. They are 2 of Europe's finest players, and they go head-to-head to save their bacon in WCS Season 2. Lucifron, as you can see, with that defeat against Naniwa and a defeat in the upper bracket here today, he goes head-to-head with France's favourite son. It is, of course, Stephano, the winner of the European WCS in 2012 and the runner-up in Season 1 here for WCS. Can he survive? Can he stay in the game? Can he stay unretired? Plenty of questions. They're all going to be answered for you in the next hour or so. It's time to go over to our commentary team. It is, of course, the wonderful Apollo and Kalaris.
Thanks very much, Paul. Welcome back to the caster's desk. I'm here with Apollo, and I have some interesting facts.
What's that then?
Interesting facts. It's that technically, if Stephano were to lose this series, then that means the top 5 from Season 1 were all already eliminated. All
Rooney in the round of 16.
Gone. What is going on?
That is absolutely insane. And another thing that is insane is that Lucifron isn't, quite giving the results necessary, but what's worse than that, if Stephano loses this game, is this how he ends his StarCraft 2 career?
Is that it?
Is that it? Is this it? Because if he doesn't qualify for the round of 8, he's obviously not going to be, he's not going to be top 5, top 6, sorry, to play in the Season 2 finals. And then he's not coming back for Season 3, then he's not going to have enough points to stay in the top 16, which he's currently 8th in the WCS ranking. This is actually a bigger game. Okay, so a lot of people look at this. All right, listen. A lot of people look at this and they say, yeah, one of these guys is going out. That's crazy, right? I guess they go back to Challenge League and work their way back in Premier League. Well, no.
It's bigger than
Stephano
that.
actually, this could be the last time we see him in a big competitive environment. This is actually insane.
I mean, we don't care about the map videos right now. This is important, guys. This is really important. These 2 players, we expected this matchup to occur today, but not in this position. As Stephano or Lucifron right now will be out of Premier.
It's just unbelievable I'm actually seeing this, because this, in my eyes, I'm looking at it, I'm like, where are the wording that says winners match? Where is it?
Exactly.
But this isn't. They both lost their first game. Lucifron, of course, being 6th last season, just missing out on getting top 5 to compete in Korea. And Stephano was number 2. He played versus MVP in the finals. He won the first game and everyone was going crazy. And now he's facing elimination in the round of 16 and facing a fizzle out in his StarCraft 2 career. He tweeted me, it got public, that he was going to win this tournament. This was his tournament to win. He'll end it with a bang. He's practiced for it. And now this is the biggest stage that he's been on because of the circumstances this year. This is massive.
He wanted to light the foreign torch one last time. Yesterday, that torch already had a spark. But now here, today, for Stephano, this could be it. This could be the last time we see him if Lucifron is able to prevail. And what an opponent he has to go up against in the form of Lucifron. We tout him, we say he's a fantastic, fantastic player. He doesn't have those results, he wants them, but you can guarantee he comes into this group prepared as anything to play against Stephano.
Yeah, I mean, I know, Stephano's a friend. He's an idiot sometimes, we all know that. But I think you may have heard that. But he is the player that the community was looked to beat the Koreans because the Koreans are the best. I think one of the biggest times that I remember seeing it was at IPL, I think IPL 5, it was the Koreans against the world or whatever it was. And remember when MC made that sign saying, Stephano, I'm coming for you?
Yeah.
It's like a nostalgia trip right now back then.
Oh, yeah.
Stephano beat him and then beat another player and then another player and another player. And, you know, that's just been Stephano's legacy. You know, he's been that guy that everyone turns to when he is feeling in shape and feeling motivated to do well, he does well. And, you know, that it is a sad way to end. If he was to lose in the round of 16 today, he wouldn't end the way he would like to.
Throughout his career, he has been the one foreigner that all foreigners have looked to for that hope. Arguably, there's a few more rising through the ranks now. There's certainly been Naniwa for a long time as well here, but Stephano's always been on top. And now, does it come down to this? Does it come down to this series here against Lucifron, best of 3, determining who goes out of Premier WCS EU as Lucifron and Stephano get ready for game number 1. And spawning up to the top left-hand corner here as our Red Terran. Representing Mouse Sports in Spain, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lucifron. And spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner, a Blue Zerg, a foreign champion, representing Evil Geniuses and France. Give it up for Stephano.
And I think we should take a moment while this game kind of kicks off, just one more time, just, you know, take a look at Stephano and what he begun with, because I remember casting him way back when in 2011 at Assembly. He got 3rd place. Me and Toro Biscuit were both there, and he showed some of the most excellent Zerg play we'd seen at that time.
Yeah.
And he finished at 3rd at that tournament, and then come IPL 3, come ESWC, where he took 2 championships within a month, basically. And then he went on to win NESL, WCS Europe, top 2, top 4, top 3, round of 8, everything in 2012. 2013, not quite been the same, but still consistent, you know, 2nd place last season in Premier League. And he's managed to get, you know, decent finishes, you know, round of 16, round of 8 here and there as well. But I mean, this is it. This is his. And he just tweeted out right now, if you do not follow him on Twitter, it is @EG Stephano. And he actually just said moments ago, this is it. I don't want to cock it up. This is it. It's now or never.
It's now or never. Perfect words for a tense, tense moment here. Stephano, a champion, and again, earning $234,000 to his name here.
Yep.
Double, pretty much, any other foreigner that currently exists in the Starcraft 2 realm. It all comes down to this for him.
He gives the foreigner #1 away to Naniwa. There's always that conversation between the community.
True.
Who is #1? Is it Naniwa or is it Stephano? And Son and Fez, all right, just take it, man. But I mean, we're talking a lot about Stephano. I mean, there is another play within this game, and that is Lucifron, and there's a lot of people here, of course, backing Lucifron from Mouse Sports, his new team, and he really is just, you know, a super good player, but really does struggle to really give the results to warrant the kind of hype that we give him when he comes to these big events. Any competitive StarCraft 2 player, when they play Lucifron on ladder, oh boy, are they scared, because he is good. He just doesn't quite bring the same performances to when it comes to an offline event.
All right, and for now, Lucifron here, sending out that first Reaper. Going to follow it up with the second as well. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw some Hellions after this from Lucifron. It's always a nice little thing to do, but he's going to go for the command center before any kind of factory play, as he wants to open this game up on Star Station, very nicely economic focused. And just jumps on in with this Reaper to have a look around. I feel really emotional just going into this game, actually, considering that this could be the last time we see Stephano. I can feel it.
I was never a fan of the guy, but I hope Stephano wins the whole WCS EU season before he retires. I think a lot of people, you know, one way or the other, do expect the same there. And we'll see if that's going to come true. Lucifron has been shown a little bit of weakness when it comes to, just a little bit of weakness when it comes to his games. Did lose versus Ghost User just a few days ago in the Asus ROG, won 2 games in a row, then lost 3 in a row. But one thing to note is Lucifron is greedy.
Oh, yeah.
But likewise, Stephano is not a player that really likes to punish. I don't think I've seen too many games where Stephano does a big roach bailing all in. He's not that type. He likes to play it out longer. Ooh. And that, I think, really does play to Lucifron's strengths. Of course, a player playing greedy versus a player who doesn't do anything about it, that clearly favors Lucifron.
Yep, he's probably going to be able to play his own game here, following this up with the Hellions as well, as we indicated earlier. And, you know, just getting that drone alone with these 2 Reapers is a nice pick-off there. Stephano was trying to save it, didn't in the end. So, small incremental advantage, but not too much here just yet.
Well, Lucifron has, you know, set himself up pretty nicely. Just Reaper just poking in, checking things out and whatnot. Double evolution chamber coming down from Stephano with a third base drone on its way out. So just usual setup, Zergling speed. Now he's mining gas again. I think his gas actually is a little bit mistimed. This is just small little nuisances we're allowed to do here and there as casters, but I think that his 1-1 is not going to be researched at the same time.
Oh, good control there by Stephano, getting that second Reaper as well. Very, very nicely done. Really does alleviate a little bit of the hassle that would come along. Reapers plus Hellions in tandem with one another are very annoying, but just Hellions alone, it's a bit more easy to deal with.
Yeah, double evolution chamber not being used here. Just one at a time. Definitely could have delayed them a little bit more, all mine gas a little bit earlier. Either way, would have been able to line them up a little bit stronger than they are now, but just a small little problem here for Stephano. Not too much to focus on, doesn't really change too much in this game. But Lucifron now, 6 Hellions making their way across the map. Does Stephano even have enough? He's a little bit supply blocked there, having to build 2 Overlords at once. Only 4 Zerglings out. If we see drones being made,
could be harmful.
4, 6.
6, ooh.
There are queens, sure.
And he has been spotted by the Overlord in the middle of the map as well. A few Zerglings do sprinkle out, and they do have speed, remember, but that's not enough just yet
He has to bring his queen from his main base to make sure he doesn't let these Hellions into the natural.
Very, very important. They could just run by. Lucifron normally likes to keep them intact, but we have seen him dart by in the past if he sees the opportunity to, so you can never fully deny that from occurring if it's Lucifron.
Yeah, his Hellions aren't really going to get too much done here. Lucifron adding on engineering base after barracks here, so it's 3 command centers, then barracks, then engineering base. Not the greediest to play he could have gone for. Did decide to get Stim quite fast in this game, which actually offers him a bit of mobility to move out with Stim, potentially looking for some creature humors, looking for a bit of movement with some Hellions, and of course a bit of a better defense if there was an attack to come.
Yep. And with that now, Leomorph's in as well for Stephano. So 1-1 respectively on the way for both players here, looking to move on into the later stages of this game, whilst Lucifron claims his third as well. So if he's able to populate that with the Hellions positioned outside to kind of notify him if any movement comes out here, then he will know what's going on.
Roach has finally pushed these Hellions back, which enables Stephano to mine from his third, first of all, and creep spread. So far, I really like the way that Lucifron's used these Hellions. He hasn't lost any of them yet. And looks like Stephano is going to come around to try and pick one off, maybe. Gets one. Okay, so he gets one of them, but the Hellions have really done their job. They've also, as you said, indirectly given Lucifron a third base without any questions asked.
It's nice here for Lucifron. Stephano, though, meanwhile, adding on the Baneling Nest as well as Clear Constitution. So there is certainly an opportunity for him to put on some pressure.
This is something which we saw Jadong do last night in WCS America, is focus on kind of a Roach Baneling attack really before. You can't really hit. I think ideally you'd love to hit before 1-1 is done, but that's really difficult to do. But hitting before 2-2, hitting before there's a lot of units out is something that this attack is designed for. And Stephano's making a lot of units here. But does he keep on making them?
Yeah, these Zerglings are getting a little bit overzealous with their positioning and do get the information that they want, but not necessarily all escaping with their lives. 4th base goes down as well for Stephano, so really dragging this out here, even adding on a macro hatch to continue with this production. May just go for the aggression while securing that 4th base behind it, but sacrificing a few lings there, not the best trade.
This is definitely shaping up to be an attack. With Overlord speed on the way as well, he could potentially use them together and send them in first to soak up any Widowmine hits, but Stephano's putting a lot of units now, and Lucifron is moving out here with a couple of units himself. A couple of Medivacs fall, so he's going to be able to stim forward, kill some creature humors, always evacuate out if anything was to happen here, and he gets one.
Pretty strong army here. 1-1 just finished up for him, so he could actually do quite a lot of damage to these Roaches, who are actually going to stick around for the fight here. The Medivac's helping out quite a lot, but Zergling's filtering on through as well, tanking a lot of that damage, forcing the lift off. Hellions have to retreat out from the left-hand side, whilst the Medivacs go to the right for the drops.
Widowmine production's very late in this game, though. There's only 2 out, and he's not actually building any more. He's got, you know, a couple of units here that's going to keep Stephano back a little bit, but Stephano, even though defending, is still increasing his army's strength now. He's currently in the lead when it comes to his army supply, and more units are going to be made, as well as 2-2 that is soon to be completed. And are we going to see this attack come in from Stephano? He's going to keep, you know, some units back maybe to defend?
Well, those Zerglings and Baneling shut down initially, but he still has to be wary of the fact that Lucifron is still prowling about, still looking to do the damage that he wants to do. And, well, picks up once again. Good eyes from Stephano, good defensive posture.
I'm still so worried for Lucifron here. He's got 2 bunkers coming down and more Widowmines coming in here. Stephano's still increasing his army up. No sign of tech from Stephano. Spire or Infestation Pit only just, well, actually, sorry, only just now coming down the Infestation Pit. So looking to go to Hive with this for sure. Probably, you know, straight over to Ultras. but still no big attack from Stephano. It's only been defensive, but 15 Banelings just got morphed in. If they're to deal with an attack or not, he should definitely be looking to attack with this, with all this delayed tech.
Few lost Banelings there, still very even in terms of the supplies, but that's a lot of Banelings morphing in, and he does see this on the very edge of his vision, so, well, this is going to be difficult here for Lucifron, despite having those, but at the same time, a lot of counter-aggression here from Lucifron as well, on multiple fronts, actually trying to do the damage, but that's a lot of roaches piling on forwards as well, with the Banelings still at the back here, having retained their lives, with no more Widow Mines to actually pressure them against, and those Banelings crash on through here, connecting with a lot of that bio, as well as the SCVs. There's so many roaches left there.
Stephano needs to focus about this drop back at home too. Yes, he's broken the front lines, and he has done a lot of damage, but he also needs to keep defending too. Drones are running away here, but Lucifron, has he got enough defense here behind his supply depots? Banelings are coming crashing through. Look at this, still 71 supply though in army. Widow Mines borrowed on the ramp too.
Oh, those Banelings need to get the connections. Widow Mines actually explode on a few of those roaches. The Banelings are actually being kept at the back here. Very, very strategic by Stephano actually retaining those for later stages. And guess a lot of the SCVs up in that mineral line as well, killing off quite a lot and trying to sound these productions, but the roaches can't do anything more. The Marines are too much, and the drops at the back are still doing damage for Lucifron.
Yeah, Stephano's only trading army supply for army supply. He's not actually breaking through to the economy that much of his opponent. Yes, he's killed quite a few SCVs, but he's also lost equal amounts. And with mules being able to come in, and there's nothing really that Stephano has like that to be able to replenish as easily, you know, Lucifron's in the lead in supply. He's equalized up the upgrades. Stephano had a small window there where he did have 2-2 over, not 2-2. And now +3 is on the way. Medivac's still causing a problem for Stephano.
And that, you're right with that. I mean, +3 being on the way for Lucifron. Stephano's tech lacking behind in that regard. The infestation pit isn't even down, so he can't actually morph in the hive if he wants to. Though, actually, my apologies, he does have the infestation pit down, so the hive is now on the way. And he hasn't seen that 4th base just yet, but he needs to get his +3 on the way, potentially, or at least some higher tech.
Look at the army supplies. Stephano's attack didn't work, and this is what happens when you throw an attack, throw resources into an attack, and it doesn't happen for you. The hive's on the way to try to go to ultras, but Lucifron's about to come in and claim ground on creep. The 3rd base is exposed. Widow Mines will get planted in the absolute utmost amazing important positions here.
Yeah, very, very good positioning indeed. Actually connecting with a few of those roaches just marching on in, but he did actually get a few Banelings at the back there as well. The bio retains itself here with those medevacs still helping out quite a lot, but he does not have the firepower to kill off those roaches just yet. But behind this, still 85 army supply to 40 in favor of Lucifron. If he gets all of his army consolidated in the same place, he might just crush through.
Yeah, Stephano's able to hold on for now, but can he keep on holding on somehow, some way? He needs to find an angle back into this game because he is playing from behind. As you can see, he's been dragged left and right between his main base, his natural and 3rd. No units have even crossed the halfway line here for Stephano. The units lost just 155 Zerglings have been lost in this game. A lot of units and more drones. I mean, if it keeps on going this way, we might see that drone count going 3 digits too.
Yeah, we certainly may do. He has to be very careful. But look at all of those Widow Mines now moving across here for Lucifron with +3 weapons finishing very, very soon as well. And we don't have to tell you how strong +3 weapons is on this bio army as Lucifron continues to drop at the back. He knows he's in an advantageous position. He knows he just has to keep Stephano back, keep him dancing, move into a position of power over at this 4th base, set up the minefield, and then deny it from that point on.
Well, a couple of mines do go down quite easily here, and Stephano's trying to hold on, but this is not going to work out too well as you see a large amount of units. And behind this, more and more and more being made. Marines with no splash damage, no Banelings, no Infestors, no Ultralisks, dealing so much damage cost efficiently while dropping at the same time. Even though it looks like to the naked eye that Stephano is holding on, yes, he's holding on, but he is dying slowly, and this is probably one of the most painful deaths that Stephano could actually witness, as he's made his way to the Ultralisk cabin, 3-3 on the way, trying to go over towards Ultralisks.
It's one way he can try and buy his way back into this, but even still now, with his 4th base being shut down without any gas income whatsoever from those extra locations, and the gas being shut down majoritively at the 3rd base as well, how do you transition onto the Ultralisks behind trying to hold all of this as well? Lucifron right now, 170 supply to 94, dominating this game.
Yeah, and he's added on a couple of tech labs to a couple of barracks here to actually start Marauder production. It looks like he'll go for one big attack now without Marauders and then follow it up the rest. So he's going to look and say, well, Stephano, come on, man. You really can't have that much money to be building that many Infestors or Ultras or anything at this point. So Lucifron's willing to move across without proper weapons to be able to bring down Ultras, but with that many Marines, Mines, and only 2 Ultralists, I don't think he even needs Marauders at this point. It is, you know, a very sad way for Stephano to be losing this game. He's holding on with everything he's got, but the supplies tell the story. The numbers are everything.
Splitting up for the concave here, but the minefield once again for Lucifron has been set up. How do you traverse that as Stephano here with this bio being such a hindrance as well, as the Zerglings do move forwards. Oh, and gets an alright connection with one of those Widow Mines. Only just a few kills on it, not too much. But now this is Stephano's time. Can he actually hold on? The bio as well as the Widow Mines split perfectly here, and now actually killing off a lot of Banelings in the middle of that engagement. This Ultralisk not doing too bad, but does go down in the very end. And still 156 supply to 84.
He's holding on like a champion here. In some games I've seen in the past where Stephano has looked and acted dead for a long time but managed to make his way back. If he was able to do that today against a player who's now established a new mining base and is still climbing up in supply every second while doing small amounts of damage. But remember, every trade that happens here, Stephano is not mining equally to his opponent. In the income tab, Lucifron is much, much further ahead when it comes to that. And that's only going to keep on getting worse as Stephano's main and natural are drying out. But here comes another wave from Lucifron, and oh boy, here are the Marauders. Here are the big guns.
Yeah, he's wheeling them out, and that's going to be hard for Stephano to deal with. His army composition right now consists of 3 Ultralisks, 4 Roaches, and just a sprinkling of Zerglings. So not a whole lot to hold on against this. Morphing them into Banelings, they need great hits here to really keep Stephano in this, but I don't know if that's actually going to work on out, because 3 threes done for this bio. Drilling Claws on the way for these Widow Mines as well. It's going to be difficult.
Looks like Stephano's saying it's not the size that matters, it's how you use it here, because he only has a very, very small weapon. As we see Lucifron at 195 supply. This is humongous in terms of the difference between the both players.
Lucifron just poking forwards here with a few of those Marauders, even pulling them back with a medevac here. Very, very cute little moves, knowing that he is in that supply advantage, holding his opponent back to 3 bases right now. Lucifron looking to move in soon for the kill, or just contain.
Well, he's coming for the kill. Slowly but surely will edge forward, force Stephano to take the fight, as Stephano can't just keep taking chip damage, you know, like small little bits of damage. He has to go for one big fight.
Ultra's coming from the bottom here, and he should be able to sandwich up quite a lot of this here. Good Baneling connections with a little bit of that, but the Widowmine's actually killed off some as well. Not too bad a Fungal, but in the end, he might push this back. But I don't know if he can actually hold off against one final wave after this.
To be honest, Stephano has taken some of the best fights I've ever seen. Like, he drags the Widowmines into the army. He's, you know, doing everything he can with so little. But the problem is, every time he holds on, there's another army coming. And Stephano's never growing his economy. He's been stuck on the same bases. And it is kind of magical to see this, right? Because yes, Stephano's playing from behind. Yes, he is dying slowly. But oh boy, is he doing so well with what he's got. And that is just the kind of the player that he's always been throughout his StarCraft 2 career. There's games that we've casted before, I think against Thorzane in last season, that he won a game that he was on the back foot from the beginning with. And well, we'll see if he can do this here. But, you know, 185 now, and another attack.
It's just relentless here from Lucifron. Good Baneling connections on Widow Mines again there, but right now he doesn't really have too much left over at all. This army for Lucifron, very, very strong. Zerglings move in from the back and get a really nice wraparound on this army, but the Focus Fire on the Ultralisks bring them down once again. And with those Ultralisks plummeting in numbers, the Zerglings and Roaches aren't going to be enough here to clean up the rest.
Yeah, and now this fourth base is going to be knocked down on this right-hand side, as well as units just streaming through the middle of the map. Lucifron expanding again to the north side, increasing his income every step of the way. GG. Resilience from Stephano, but absolutely hammer play from Lucifron.
He just knows this matchup in and out. He keeps the drop aggression going whilst macroing behind the... Do you know how hard that is as a Terran player? It's... Of all the macro situations to be in, Terran is the hardest to macro, I feel. In those situations where you're dropping constantly left and right, he makes it look very, very impressive.
Yeah, Lucifron, I mean, yes, he's having troubles versus Protoss. Yes, he's not playing up to his name. And, I mean, you know, playing up to how he would like to be playing, especially now being full-time for quite a while now. You know, we're looking at a good 4 or 5 months or whatnot of playing the game, nothing but a lot. And he's one game away now from knocking out Stephano, really just bursting Stephano's bubble as Stephano now faces that screen, maybe for the last time. Maybe for the last time, if he loses this next map on Belshiv Vestige, he needs to just bring everything, these good 2.5 years that he's been playing StarCraft 2, and before that with Warcraft 3, and the history that he came into StarCraft 2 being a player that wanted to learn everything from Grubby, wanted to practice with him, and he did, and lost every single game, but that turned around, reversed itself in StarCraft 2, and Stephano was the guy that was teaching Grubby how to play. His legacy will live forever in StarCraft 2, but his actual playing career is near an end if he does not be able to find a way to beat Lucifron here.
And game number 2 now on the way. If there was ever a time for you to cheer for Stephano to actually take a win here, if you're a Stephano fan or not, now's the time. He's one map away, guys, from retirement. I don't know how else to say it. That's how it is. As we have, spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner here, as our Red Terran, playing an amazingly strong game number 1. Representing Mousesports and Spain, give it up for Lucifron. And up to the top left-hand corner, our blue Zerg, representing Evil Geniuses and France. Ladies and gents, give it up for Stephano.
One last time, baby. One last time. Let's see if it's going to be this map. Is Lucifron going to just end the dreams of Stephano? Doing well, he's, like I mentioned earlier, practicing to do well here. And was actually very happy that MVP was knocked out yesterday. Yeah. That was the one guy that gave him troubles last season. If we look at Stephano's career 2012 for WCS, he was untouched. There was just absolutely no one that could stop him.
No one.
In Europe, it was only Koreans that could ever beat Stephano. And that's a different story here. He's been, finishing earlier in tournaments and whatnot, losing a couple of Zerg versus Zergs here and there to lesser Zergs than himself. And he is drone scouting. I think this is a smart decision from Stephano, saying, what would be worse than just leaving this Series 0-2 was to fizzle out and being killed by a 2-Rex.
Exactly. This right here, this map, if Stephano doesn't actually step it up here against Lucifron, this could be the end of an era. As Stephano now scouts out and makes sure he's safe.
Yeah,
so
goes
important.
in and just sees the same build that Lucifron does every single game.
Yeah.
Every single game against Zerg. It's just 12 barracks, 12 gas, 4 a Reaper, and then just take his 3 command centers from there. It's just the same old Lucifron. And Stephano knows that here, so he may have a couple of different options to choose from here. He hasn't opted to take down a gas yet. He may play a more 4 to 6 queen style, depending on how he wants to focus his economy, whether he takes a 3rd base earlier or not. These are the couple of things. There's not too many choices to make here as a Zerg player, but there's a few.
And now that drone just hiding on out as well down here. Spawning pool's going to finish up for Stephano in a second, and the Reaper now on the way to do the old scooter boot. And that was for all our lovely Canadians that are currently in present. But anyway, as we do have the second Reaper going to follow this up. So we'll see how Lucifron is going to play this out.
And remember, this is not the last game of the evening, even though it kind of feels like a little bit with Stephano, potentially leaving the professional scene here, is that we do have the winner of these 2 plays going up against Duck Duck to find out who advances in 2nd place, alongside Whelmy, the Finnish player, the Finnish star, making his way through him first once again. And Stephano just poke in here. We'll see no 2nd gas taken, nothing else coming down here. And can probably presume with this drone scout that sneaked its way back in that the factory with the reactor is going to be placed down next. Nothing too crazy.
And we do indeed get tweets here from Mr. Alex Ninjamo. It's true thing, man. Oh. It's true. Whoop.
Nice circling movement there.
Nice circling movement indeed. But guys, you should definitely tweet hashtag WCS. And if you want to cheer for Stephano, if you want to see him advance on through here, certainly hashtag that and cheer for Stephano. But likewise, Lucifron. And he's on the verge here of advancing forwards to play against Duck Duck, a player that Stephano was unable to vanquish. Oh, good Zergling positioning.
Yeah, it's just using the Zerglings really well here. Stephano's still not had a decision here to take gas. He's gone up to quite a few queens now. They should be coming down actually within the next 10 seconds or so. So they do come down. And this is going to allow him to get to that Zergling speed, to get to his double evolution chamber, and just kind of set himself up to go into the mid stages.
Look at this though, Lucifron, the greedy man, going for that 2nd command center as well here. So he knows how he likes to play this matchup, and he's so good in this matchup. Stephano trying to claim a 3rd to the bottom left, but unable to do so. Ooh, just saves that drone barely there. Good save.
Yeah, good save. Just small little things that add up to a lot in the later stages, of course. The Overlord pokes in and sees, all right, same again. There's the factory on the reactor, there's the barracks, there's the third command center, knows exactly what he's playing against. And this was the way that this series was always, every single time they would play out. It is going to be long, it is going to be a later stage of a game because the way that they both play. Lucifer's greedy. You all agree, Lucifer focuses very heavily on his economy. He doesn't really change his build-up. He knows that he's very strong when it gets up to building all the barracks and get the Marines streaming across the map and dropping in multiple locations. And Stephano's always up for the challenge. He's all right. You want to play like that? I'll do it too.
And I've got to ask, Sean, in terms of going up against the style that Lucifer exhibited in game number 1, what do you do as Stephano? Do you say, well, to hell with kind of Roach, kind of Baneling Ling, and do you go for Mutalisks eventually? Is that where you go?
Well, yes, that's the usual way to play, but I'll hold that thought because he's playing different, and Hellions have made their way through here. A great queen block for Stephano, and he is helping the drones going down for now, but
gets a few there. How many does he get in the end? He got 5.
That's not too bad though, just 5. Could have been worse.
This could have been a lot worse if he hadn't been careful. So good control there by Stephano in the end to actually shut that down, but likewise Lucifer being very opportunistic there and finding the holes in his opponent's play, killing off the 5 drones, not too bad.
So Stephano's changed up his style. This is actually, Stephano, we talked about how, Stephano really is the player that a lot of Zergs follow in their strategies.
Yeah.
In Wings of Liberty, before Widowmines even existed, Stephano was playing Roach Hydra. He was one of the first, he was the first to do it successfully. And he's playing the same now, or at least very heavy Roach to begin with, and then eventually Hydraless here, as he takes his gas on the third base and whatnot. Doesn't want to rush down the Hydra Den too fast. He's going to need to be able to have enough gas to be able to build 2-2, which is kind of the biggest point of getting the double evolution chambers. So doesn't want to throw it down too fast, but he's going to be playing a good style against Widowmines. Lucifer needs to identify that this is the case, and actually needs to identify that he needs tanks, bunkers, if Stephano continues to build aggressive units, not drones.
Yeah, and it's a hard thing to make work as Roach Hydra in this matchup, and you said it eloquently, and he was the first one to play it successfully. There was lots of people trying out, sure, but the small nuances of it are a difficult thing to master. Stephano had that down. Loses a few drones here, just 1 or 2. So Lucifer getting small kills, and might even get another one, but no, does go for those extractors. So smart move there by Stephano, shuts it down in the end.
Yeah, I wonder if Lucifer's kind of realized yet, because I don't see anything in his play that indicates he's realized. He's seen a couple of Roaches, but that's also very normal from a Zerg player that's feeling threatened from, of course, Hellions running around. And the factory actually hasn't even been used yet. It's inside the main base, but only just now adding on a reactor to it. So it is going to be Widowmines to begin with. And that's perfect. Roaches tank a lot of damage from these, of course. The Widowmines don't do that well against the Roaches and Hydras.
And now, well, that Hydralist Den does go down here with that 2-2 on the way. And Lucifer's just setting himself up for the standard macro game that he would normally go into, with that third base down, with the drops now beginning here. Overlords are well positioned to actually spot this preemptively, so he can set up his defenses accordingly, but it's not going to stop. Lucifer's not going to stop until he's done the damage he wants to.
Well, Lucifer gets in here, and of course drops are always good against a player that doesn't have anything to bring them down, whether it be Museless or Hydras, but the first thing to note there is that he spotted that he's playing against Roach Hydra now. The first thing Lucifer does, apart from evacuating, is actually pull out his factory from the reactor and add it on with a tech lab and build another factory here to add on another tech lab, so he's switching over to tanks. So Stephano has a very narrow window to make this work. 2-2 is on its way. That's when the timing is naturally going to just happen for Stephano, but the more tanks that come in, the more likely Stephano loses this game. But one thing also there that Adebisi points out for us is that 2-2 never begun. Lucifer's like, holy crap, I'm playing against Roach Hydra. I need tanks now and I need them fast.
Yeah.
And he's forgot about 2-2.
All the gas is going to be pumped into those. But another clever thing here that Lucifer's actually doing is shutting down this creep spread quite aggressively, knowing that a Roach Hydra composition is all the more mobile in comparison to Lings that are always just super mobile anyway, or a Ling style, when you have good creep spread going. So Lucifer knows the importance of hitting this hard.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get Hydra's range and Hydra speed to still hit the 2-2 time.
Exactly.
So you need to move out. So Stephano's going to have to go very soon, but this Hydras are going to be slow. Lucifer, another thing that's very well is building tanks is keep on dropping. The only anti-air is Hydralist, so if the Hydras are coming across the map, what does Stephano have to defend? And now we're going to see the big play. Roach is coming in, 2-2 near completion. Stephano needs to think about leaving for an attack soon.
And how well will that go is the question, because Luciferon's still hitting everywhere here, while trying to at least with these drops.
+2 attack! A transfuse comes down. I don't think it completes. I don't think it completes. No, it didn't complete.
It was just on the verge of completing. That's huge. Yeah. Roach is getting extra +2 from that. Hydralisk was +1 with their attack speed.
And now there's a tank up there, and Stephano doesn't really know how many tanks there are. Of course, there's one, and there's so many Stim Marauders and Marines. Stephano's just going to get shut down here. I don't think he can break this. SCV's coming offline to make sure that he doesn't break it. And Stephano's still in a supply lead, still with a lot of Roaches in supply, but he needs to find a weakness of Luciferon. Time is running out. 2 tanks are coming out. 2-2 is on the way, as well as +1 attack for these tanks. And Luciferon is doing his job well to keep Stephano back, but Stephano here, he's running out of time. It's just that simple.
I can't tell if his heart's racing faster or mine is. This is big here. Luciferon getting that +2 weapons is fantastic for him. As you see, the +2 weapons is on the way once again here for Stephano, but it's so delayed right now. A second evolution chamber finishes as well. He's trying to get the Hive up and running with Enduring Locust. He's trying to go over to for Swarm Hosts. I don't think that's going to work.
Well, he's missed his timing, so he needs to kind of go with what he's got, and that's kind of Roach Hydra upgrades, missile attacks, but this is going to be obviously very painful as Luciferon comes in and snipes the Hive from morphing. Luciferon deals a major blow here to Stephano. And once again, we're in a position. So let me just explain a little bit. So the reason why Stephano has a timing 2 hit. First of all, yes, Luciferon's going to stop it. But more importantly, Stephano does not have a long-term plan. He doesn't have a 4th base. He's on 3 base versus 3 base. He needs a 4th. He doesn't have melee upgrades, which, you know, help the Ultralisk, which help Broodlings and whatnot. And now he's kind of like, all right, it didn't work. The natural transition from this has to be Swarm Host. They're good with upgrades. Maybe I can make it work if I can get over, you know, to have a high amount of them and whatnot. But if we see any more damage dealt to Stephano, despite being at 200 supply, I feel he may not be able to recover from it. He's already been dealt a lot.
Stephano now needs the flanks. He needs perfect engagements here to shut this down, to keep his hopes alive in WCS Premier. As this engagement is going to be coming very quickly.
Look at that tank position.
It's so good.
But look at Stephano's flank.
There's the flank. There's the flank. Will he be able to make this work? He's coming in from both sides. This could be the engagement that Stephano needs, but at the same time, a lot of his army is actually dying off here. The Hydralisk actually closed the gap, and the Bio, as well as some of the Sea Sharks, are going down, but Stephano still plummeting in supply. Luciferon, despite the great flank, still is able to take the win in the engagement.
And this is it. This is how Stephano's going to end his StarCraft 2 career. The Swarm Hosts get exposed. The scan goes down. The 3rd hatchery is about to be breaking, as well as a drop inside the main base. Luciferon says, all right, I understand that you were one of the best StarCraft 2 players that the non-Korean scene had ever seen, but now it's not your time, my friend. It is my time. I'm going to continue on. I'm going to move on from this tournament. Stephano drops underneath 100 supply, and Luciferon is the player to knock Stephano out from the WCS. This is unrecoverable. He's trying his best. He knows that this is the end of it. Congratulations. And it is Luciferon that moves on with an acknowledgement from Stephano.
The reign of Stephano has come to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed something that's pretty emotional. Congratulations to Luciferon for moving on forwards. But that is it.
And that is it. That is an end of a very special era for that young man there. He's accomplished so much in his StarCraft 2 career. He's been the guy. He's been the player, like we mentioned earlier, that everyone has looked up to. He's made a lot of money playing StarCraft 2. He's not enjoying it as much as he used to, and he acknowledges that as well, as saying congratulations to Luciferon and wishes him good luck to move on from this point, as Luciferon, of course, continues not only in this tournament, but continues his career. But there we are witnessing it live. That is the end of Stephano, my friends. We will not be seeing too much of him anymore. He will not be able to keep up points from, of course, the ones that he already has, 2,000 points. There's the final moments of Stephano just kind of accepting it. This is it. This is how it ends.
A moment of clarity here for Stephano, as he does indeed type out that GG, and that is it. And that means that Luciferon does advance on here at WCS Europe Premier League, round of 16, Group B.
Stephano ends, but one player continues on to fight as he will be going up, of course, against Duck Duck. Will it be Lucifron to hold strong for Europe, for the European region against Duck Duck, or is Duck Duck going to be another Protoss player? We'd have 4 Protoss players in a row from Group A and Group B to move into the round of 16. I think a lot of people will be banking Lucifron to carry the torch from where Stephano just left off.
Yeah, they certainly will be doing. So we'll have an interview with the winner, Lucifron, in just a little bit here as we get prepared with that. And amazing results here from day number 1 through to day number 2. What crazy StarCraft we have actually seen here in WCS Europe. I'm so surprised.
And I think it's only going to get better. And I do think Lucifron is ready for that interview now. So take it away, Red Eye.
Thanks very much, guys. With the winner, Mouse Lucifron. Well played. Good game. You said to me just before we came on camera that was an intense match. Why?
Well, because through both games I was dropping all the time, so I had to keep track of 3 locations at the same time. And yeah, when your opponent is playing like that, it's really important to not lose the units in the dropships, because the medevacs will take a long time to get killed since there are no Mutalisks. So I had to keep an eye on that all the time, whereas I was macroing and so on, so yeah, it was very intense.
Yeah, first map, you were always ahead. It was always Stephano with that resilience that he's shown so many times, just wouldn't die off, and you kept having to send wave after wave after wave. Were you confident it was just a matter of time?
Well, yeah, I had my 4th base and he was on 3 base, so at that point I thought that the game was over, but he kept outplaying me on the engagements. Every single engagement went on his favor, but in the end I had too many and I just won the game.
Yeah, second map, a little bit simpler, I guess. I mean, there was some key moments in that. Talk us through them from your point of view.
Yeah, well, I think that he decided to play Rhodes Hydra style, so that's a kind of a style that when the Terran goes tanks and just camps and waits for a 200 supply, it's usually very good for the Terran, especially since I sniped one of his Evo chambers, so he was behind in upgrades. And also, when I sniped his main, then it was just get to 100 supply attack, and if I didn't mess up, I should have won.
Okay, well, congratulations. You are through to the final game. Still one more to play to get through to the round of 8, which would match your last season, of course. I know you want to go even further than that. I also want to just talk to you very briefly, without taking any shine away from your victory, about the fact that Stephano effectively is retired. You've just retired Stephano. I guess it's someone has to do it, I suppose. But just talk a little bit about what a force of nature he's been in the European scene, and you know how powerful he's been over the last couple of years.
Well, I think that results talk by themselves. It's obvious that Stephano has been the best foreigner in overall in StarCraft 2, and I would say the only one who has competed with the Koreans on the same level. So yeah, I think that his tournament results speak for themselves.
All right, well, thanks very much, Lucifron. Very kind words from Pedro there on Stephano, who is now officially retired. Let's go back to our commentary team to get their thoughts on the match.
Thanks very much, guys. Welcome back here. What a way to... We're not even done yet today.
No, we're not done. This is just the setup to the end here, as we do have, of course, Lucifron going up versus Duck Duck in a couple of moments. Yep. But, you know, Stephano's era is at an end. It is a sad thing for a lot of or it's sad for everyone to actually, experience at this point. But you know, we don't need to harp onto that. It's happened. We talked about it. And now we need to focus on the rest of the WCS season, which is Lucifron going up against Duck Duck. It's for the players that are playing in tomorrow and the next day. And, of course, the weekend coming up where we have the round of 8 and above. A lot of people thought that we may even have, coming into the Season 2, Stephano versus MVP. Both of them, funnily, out.
All 5 of the top finishers last season are gone. Lucifron.
Representing Europe in Season 1 finals. Not in Season 2.
Not at all. Even Lucifron now, who finished 6th, is on the verge of going out if he isn't able to beat Duck Duck here.
It's really funny because aside from MVP, the Europe region did do that well in Season 1 finals.
No.
And if you look at it as a grand thing, we had these 5 players we sent. And in Season 2, we wiped them all off. We decided to get 5 brand new players to represent Europe for Season 2, or 6 players.
We wiped the slate clean, guys, and apparently that just happens.
Yeah?
We have no idea who's now going to be those top 6 players that are going to be moving on to represent us at the finals. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, and we do have Red Eye on standby with us. Something a little bit special, I think. So take it away, Red Eye.
Thanks very much, guys. Yes, something very special. And we couldn't just let him go like that. That wouldn't be fair. So let's get some words from the man himself. I don't want to talk about that game too much because that was a miserable way to finish. And you know it, right?
It is, and I apologize for that.
That's okay, I'll let you off. I want to talk to you about a fantastic career, because I think it's worthwhile now that you're at the end of your career. We finally give you back to your family. I know how pleased they are to get you back after so many years of spending your time in Starcraft. You've given them some fantastic memories. There's NASL, there's IPL, ESWC, there's WCS Europe from last year, champions on all of them, over $230,000 won in Starcraft as well. Are you able to sum up briefly your career in words?
I could, if you just give it to me.
I never let the microphone go.
So, yeah, when I started, I was a little boy, as you said before.
This isn't going to be a long story, is it?
It is. It will take 5 minutes, so get ready. Because it's my last word to the community, so it has to be long, correct?
I'm honored to be with you.
I didn't understand, but... so, I started as a boy, and through the months, the games, the tournaments, the experiences during the night, and alcohol and stuff, I learned many things. I have people who helped me understand some things about life. And my Starcraft 2 experience is more than just playing games and making money. It made me a more accomplished person, I think. And I always acted as if I didn't really care about the game and stuff, but I do thank Blizzard for making this game because it has changed my life, and I don't know what would be my life without it right now. Maybe, most likely miserable, so thank you for this game. Luckily I was able to be good on this one without making too much effort. It's true. What else? Thanks for all the fans who supported me during these 2.5 years, and they still loved me in the bad days, which are the 6 past months. Thanks to my family for supporting me a lot. And yeah, let's not cry. It has been a great experience, but everything has an end. And sadly I didn't end it as I wanted with a big win. It's actually the worst way I could finish it with a 0-4. But the efforts were here. I actually tried my best to win this tournament, but I just couldn't. It's not for me anymore, as I said in the game. And yeah, thanks to EG for helping me doing this. This is a goodbye.
Stephano, s'il te plaît!
I can't think of a better way to sum up a fantastic career, but from myself and from all the people at ESL, he's given us some fantastic memories over the year, and on behalf of Blizzard, we'd like to thank Stephano as well. Thank you so much for your contribution to StarCraft 2 and, of course, Warcraft 3 in the previous years, if you were around then as well. Thank you very much to Stephano. We're going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll find out the final man who'll make it through to the round of 8. This man is taking a break.